How's she going, boys? Mike here, welcome back to Grampie's workshop. I'm just going through my to-do list here. I think it's getting shorter. It's springtime after all, lots to do. And what's on my list today is I'm going to work on the water pump down in the boathouse. Remember last winter there I had a problem where my pump was running 24/7 just about. Pretty near put us in the poorhouse. Whew. Anyway, we got the pump shut off. Now I have to go down and do some repairs. So I got some parts. Let's go down and see how we make out. Well, we got the green machine all geared up. Got the kit in the back there with the parts. All we got to do now is drive down to the boathouse. Man, it's terrible getting old. You drive everywhere instead of walking. Well, we made it. Boy, that trail down through there, it's bad shape. That needs a lot of work too, but first of all, I have to concentrate on getting the boathouse squared away. First things first, open her up. Okay, my wall hydrant goes through the wall right here, and it messed up inside, so we have to let that go. So that just screws into this fitting. But first, there's two screws on the outside that hold the base of the tap to the building. So I'm going to go take those screws out, then I should be able to unscrew that and take it through the wall. Then I have a new hydrant that I'll put in and connect up. Now, this should just unscrew. It shows. Okay, pull that through and then I'll put the other one in. Okay, so there's my tap through here, and because we're inside work and can't see the orientation of the tap, of course we want the tap to face down, they've cleverly typed or engraved top on here, so you know when it's in this position, the tap is in the right orientation outside. So I've already put some Teflon tape on there, so we'll start this in here. Put it in until she starts to get tight, and then we'll look for the top. So there's the top right there. So that should be good. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the knob off it here, just so I can get my screw gun in closer. I was down here the other day and I put all the wiring back together and I turned my pump on and it hasn't been leaking since. So let's just turn the water on here. Now I'm going to go out and turn on that outside tap and let the water run for the pump to cycle a couple of times. You watch for leaks while I'm gone. So we're going to let the pump cycle. And I don't see any leak. Now, I've been around long enough to know that, you know, when something's leaking and then it stops leaking, doesn't mean it's fixed. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my eye on this. And that's it. I'm I'm not going to change this pressure switch right now today. I'm just going to let that go and see if it leaks anymore. In fact, I'll take this cover off. See if I can see any water down in there. I don't see any water. I'm not sure what's going on here. So while that's pumping, I may as well switch the water over. I'm going to go put the foot valve in. So if you can see right there, the foot valve is floating, I mean. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go inside the boathouse now, and when I try to prime this suction line, that should fill with water and sink. We'll see how I make out. To try to explain what's going on here, not sure how well you can see all this, but I have underneath the pump here, there's a well crock, and that's where I pump water from. It never freezes, so I pump there. I can pump from there all year round, but in the summer I like to start pumping from the lake. So I have this valve that goes to the crock, this valve goes to the lake. So what I'm going to do is leave this valve open and crack this one a little bit, hoping then that I'll pump water out this suction line, out to the lake, flood that line, and the foot valve will sink. I also have a valve on here that I open up to let air in this line for when I drain the foot valve in the fall. So I'll close this, because we don't want water coming out of there. And then I'll try to open this. They're hard to open, but there, I can hear water flowing out that line to the foot valve. So that's a good sign. You can just barely see the foot valve bobbing in the lake right there. You can make it out even. So it should be in the water enough anyways to draw water. So we're trying to run the water and the pump's not making any pressure. So I'm shutting this valve off to the lake, leaving this one open to the crock, and there it's just picking up the prime again now. So we'll just cycle this process a couple of times. The whole thing is we don't want to lose the prime in the pump, right? So that's why we're doing this procedure. So you can hear the pump cavitating now because it's lost its prime. There, it just picked it up again. So I'm going to shut off the water to the outside. I knew this was going to go too smooth. I couldn't find the leak anywhere in the pressure switch, but now that we're running the pump a little bit under pressure, the leak is back. So I have a pressure switch. I'm going to change that out. Okay, what I've done is I've shut the power off to the pump and I turned the water back on. I'm just letting the tank drain down because I have to let this line go here, and that line has water in it. So I want to make sure I have minimal amount of water spraying around everywhere. And what I'm going to do also is I'm going to close this valve to the suction line under the well house here, just to make sure I don't lose my prime. One of the things I find about working on water systems, aside from the fact that anything that can go wrong will go wrong, one of the things I find is you have to protect your prime at all times, and getting the prime is sometimes a tricky undertaking, but once you get it primed, as long as you don't lose that prime, it'll pump every time you turn it on. But anyway, that's I'm going to just change this switch. It's there's not a lot of room in here for maneuvering, so I don't think I'm going to try to video it because it's dark and it's hard to see. So hopefully when you see me in a couple of seconds here, I'll have the new pressure switch on here. Alright, there's my switch. So here's my pressure line that just plugs into the back now. And we should be good to go. Make sure everything's sitting in there good. Try it. Turn on the valve so I can get some water from the crooks. This pressure switch, it was a 30 to 50 psi switch, so I shouldn't have to adjust it. So it's building up there now. 35, 40, 45, 50, 53, 55 it shut off at, so that's good. What's it turn on at? So 35 to 55, so that's good. I'd rather higher than lower. So I like that. Doesn't appear to be any leaks, that's good. So now we're going to go back to try priming our line. I'm just purging this line here, that's all I'm doing, eh? Just cycling back and forth. The key is to get this line filled that goes out to the foot valve in the lake. I think I might have it now. It's almost got it, but not quite. Just let it run there for a bit. See how we go. Cycle it one more time here. Alright, I'm going to say we're done here. Put the cover on my pressure switch. Cycle it one more time. Alright, so now what I do to turn the water on up to the camp is I just open this valve. Now I'm going to go shut everything off, go up, turn off the taps up to the camp, one by one, as the water fills the lines. So that's a sure sign of spring, boys. We got the outside water on. I got that pressure switch changed, and we got the outside tap changed. And I had a little bit of problem priming that pump, but it's working all right now. I think on my suction line goes out to the lake. I have a valve at the end of it by the foot valve because I opened that to let the water drain out. And I don't think I got that sealed off really tight, so I think it's kind of leaking down there. But I'll have a look at that again maybe tomorrow, see how the pump runs overnight. And if it's working okay, if it's not losing pressure, then I'll just leave it as is. But we got that job done. Another one off the list. Thanks for watching, folks. I sure hope you're getting all your springtime jobs done and caught up and looked after. And don't forget, please thumbs up me. Click the bell so you can be reminded when I'm posting new videos. And we'll see you next time on Grampie's Workshop. We'll talk to you soon.